Okay, so OLED technology has become the centerpiece of gaming monitors in 2024, offering promises of amazing visuals and state-of-the-art performance. But with all that hype, one big question still remains. Is it really worth it? So to find out, I made the jump and switched to an OLED monitor for 30 days, and after a month of gaming, productivity, and even some movies, I've experienced the highs and lows of this hyped up technology. So let's start with the monitor that I chose, which is the LG Ultra Gear 27GS93QE-B. This is a 1440p 240Hz OLED gaming monitor that caught my eye for two reasons. It's one of the more affordable OLED options available on Amazon.ca, and it boasts impressive specs for its price. That said, affordable is pretty relative at $800 Canadian. This wasn't exactly a casual purchase. But as someone who does like to game regularly and loves exploring new tech, I was pretty eager to see if it lived up to the hype. To be completely honest, I've never owned an OLED monitor before. Sure, I've seen OLED technology in TVs and smartphones where its reputations for, deep blacks and vibrant colors is what makes them special. But bringing it into my gaming setup felt like entering a whole new realm. The moment I powered on the monitor, the difference was immediate. Coming from a 1080p monitor, the jump to 1440p was pretty dramatic. Suddenly, game worlds felt richer and more immersive, with details that were previously invisible now popping off the screen. Character models looked more lifelike, textures appeared sharper, and distant environments seemed more realistic. I'm not entirely sure if this was due to the OLED technology or simply the resolution jump from 1080p, but either way, the result was undeniably impressive. The true standout feature of OLED, however, is its ability to produce perfect blacks. Unlike traditional LCD panels, which use backlighting and can struggle with contrast, OLED's self-emissive pixels can turn off completely. This results in blacks that aren't just dark, they are pitch black. In dark scenes or games with heavy shadows, the difference is almost startling. It's not just a technical improvement, it fundamentally changes how you perceive visuals. Beyond the black level, the color reproduction on this monitor is really good. They are vibrant and punchy, and the colors give games a lifelike quality that's hard to replicate on other display types. When I was in game, every scene just felt a lot more real. However, OLED monitors aren't without their drawbacks, and brightness is one of them. This particular model, while impressive in many ways, doesn't get as bright as some IPS or mini LED panels. During the day, with sunlight going through my window, I found darker scenes in games harder to see clearly. While gaming in a dimly lit or dark room solves this issue and allows the OLED strength to shine, it's a limitation worth noting, especially if you're used to gaming in brighter environments. This isn't really a deal breaker for everyone, but it's something to take into consideration. For me, it slightly impacted my immersion during daytime gaming sessions, and it is for sure a trade-off. The incredible black levels and contrast come at the expense of peak brightness. Depending on your setup and habits, this might be a bigger issue than it was for me. However, if you play a lot of fast-paced titles like shooters or racing games, OLED's near instant response times will be a game changer. In titles like Fortnite and Rainbow Six Siege, I immediately noticed reduced motion blur and ghosting. Targets felt sharper, and tracking movements was noticeably smoother. Paired with the 240Hz refresh rate, this monitor offers an edge for competitive players. That said, for slower paced games or casual players, the difference might not feel as pronounced. While it is a fantastic feature, it's not necessarily a must-have unless you're looking for top-tier performance in competitive scenarios. And while gaming is the primary use for this monitor, I also tested it for non-gaming tasks. Watching movies was a great experience, with OLED's black levels making every scene in films feel cinematic. On the productivity side, the high contrast and vibrant colors were super nice to work with. Doing tasks like editing videos or photos were great, and watching YouTube videos felt top tier. Overall, the monitor does work well for every type of workflow. One of the most frequently discussed concerns with OLED displays, though, is burn-in, a phenomenon where static images like HUD elements in games leave a permanent mark on the screen over time. Manufacturers have introduced features like pixel shifting to mitigate this, and so far I haven't encountered any issues because it's only been such a short amount of time. However, burn-in remains a risk, especially if you're someone who spends hours playing games with static overlays or uses the monitor for productivity tasks with UI elements. So who benefits the most from switching to OLED? If you're a competitive gamer who values lightning fast response times and minimal motion blur, OLED can give you the slight edge. It's also a great choice for gamers who prioritize visual fidelity and play games with dark, atmospheric settings where the contrast can shine. However, if you're on a budget or you play games in a brightly lit room, the limitations in brightness might make an IPS or mini LED monitor a better fit. Understanding your own gaming habits and preferences is key to determining whether OLED is the right choice for you. And while OLED technology is definitely impressive, it's still evolving. One exciting development is QD OLED, where we have seen some monitors come out this year, which promises to address some current limitations such as peak brightness and color longevity. As more manufacturers adopt and refine OLED technology, we're likely to see prices drop and performance improve, making a more accessible option for everyday gamers. Innovations in burn-in prevention, higher peak brightness, and extended panel lifespan are on the horizon. If you're not ready to make the leap now, the next generation of OLED monitors might be worth waiting for. So, after weeks of gaming on this OLED monitor, I've come to a conclusion. If you have a powerful PC capable of running games at high frame rates and resolutions, and if you're willing to invest in a premium display, then yes, an OLED monitor is absolutely worth it. The unparalleled black levels, vibrant colors, and lightning fast response times elevate the gaming experience in ways that are hard to match. However, if your budget is tight or your PC can't fully leverage the monitor's capabilities, I'd recommend holding off. An LCD or mini LED display might offer better performance and price for most gamers. As for me, I've thoroughly enjoyed this upgrade, but I'm not entirely sure that I'll be keeping it. While the improvements are undeniable, the high price tag and specific limitations make it a tougher sell for my personal setup. So is OLED the future of gaming monitors? Without a doubt. But whether it's the right choice for you right now depends on your needs, your budget, and your gaming habits.